So this car behind me is actually my 2005 Mini Cooper that I dragged off someone's driveway where it was abandoned, ready to go to the scrapyard.
All because the car was unable to move due to this sound.
Why did I buy this car?
After further inspection, actually just turned out to be a blown release bearing, which we actually changed over, along with the clutch, which did in fact fix the problem after it not moving for over 2 months.
We're moving now! Yes! This little car right here has taught me a lot. This car might look small and innocent, but it's been hell to work on.
After failing its MOT, we actually had to take the whole subframe off to change the lower bushings. And even after doing head gasket and water pump on this car, which weren't easy jobs,
this little tiny car still has more problems we need to fix before it finds a new owner. So yeah, let's get to work. So we've got a lot to fix and a lot to install to this little Mini Cooper today. But the first thing we're actually installing is a little present to my little baby girl because it survived a 1,000 mile road trip following Audi R8, M4s and the lot. We're about to reward this with something sat in the garage right now. Let's go. And the thing right here is what's going on in the car firstly in today's video. We've actually got the Union Jack rear light compared to the boring, bog standard, normal ones. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. That's mad. It's crazy. So it's going to look so good. This is actually a stock option on the newer Mini Coopers. So we're kind of modernizing it. And it's a little reward for the car not blowing up while we're in Wales. Let's get them on. Let's pop these out. As simple as this. Simple as that. Old one's out, 2 clips and 1 screw behind. I already did it because it was a ball leg to get to. A ball leg. This is the position I had to do to get that bolt out. Definitely not the most flattering. We absolutely cook with this light. I don't know about you guys and what you think, but I think this looks so much better. So clean. Oh my, look at that, mate. Look at it. Look at the indicator on that. And then the indicator on this one is just a blinking thing, but that's sequential. Oh, mate, that looks so good. Let's get the other one in.
So after removing the nut from the inside of the boot, which was a pain to get to, we can pull the light out from the 2 metal clips, unplug it, and simply get this masterpiece of a rear light put on a car that was so close to ending up at the scrapyard. And after awkwardly tightening up the bolt on the back of the light, here was the final result. Let me know your brutally honest opinions in the comments below. Tackling all the small jobs before we get onto the bigger jobs later in the video. And next wanted to remove all the remaining stickers from the rally off the Mini Cooper for a sleeker look. I mean, who do I think I am? A Lamborghini going on the Gumball 3000? No, that's why we're getting rid of them. And the last small job for today is something else I'm not happy with.
And it's actually these plates right here. They're a bit too NPC spec. So it's about time. Fully just fell over. And it's time to replace them with these plates, which are actually 4D gel plates.
And if you didn't hear, these plates automatically make you 10 times cooler. It's in the 10 commandments. Honestly.
Genuinely, I feel so sorry for this car. It has been absolutely abused and abused in the 3 months of ownership I've had the car. It's been taken on a 1,000 mile road trip around Wales, trying to keep up with Audi R8, BMW M4s, Ford Focus STs. My Mini Cooper's only got little legs, mate. It was literally sitting on the limiter, trying to keep up with them cars. And also, just recently, I lent this car to my friend because he didn't have a car for 2 weeks, and he put 2,000 miles on it in 1 week. Madness. So I think it's fair to say this car deserves a little bit of TLC with a good old service. So I just went to my local motor factor to actually pick up all of these Comline parts. We've got a cabin filter, air filter, and an oil filter to fit to the car today to get this car running heavenly again. Now, in a world where everything is expensive, I personally like Comline because they make keeping your car on the road actually affordable, going from point A to point B, wherever that point might be. Whether that's your sneaky links house, your local B&Q, or your local Gala Bingo. And as well as being affordable, they're also great quality too. In fact, even the water pump on my Mini and the lower bushings on the car are actually Comline products as well. And now this oil filter is all ready to go back in. And all their parts are a first time fit, so I could install this air filter with my eyes closed. Off, out, yeah yeet. Come on air filter. Oh mate, look at that, just like a jigsaw puzzle. If I was 10 years old again, I'd kill them puzzles. And as simple as easy as that, it's all now in. We just got to screw it up, attach the intake, and we're all good.
And the last thing we had to change over for this service was actually the cabin filter. And this actually filters the air inside the cabin from outside particles such as dust, pollen, and from the amount of dirt in it, I don't think it's ever been changed.
I mean, it's literally black, so yeah.
So the brand new Comline 1 just slides right into its factory position, and then we can put the cover on using the 4 clips.
And just a reminder, Comline is available for motor factors across the country, and check out links in the description to their website and socials.
So now we've got the Jubilee clip back on the airbox and the 2 screws back in to hold the cover into place. We can now move on to some more problems with this Mini Cooper.
There's a lot of knocking, there's a lot of banging, there's a lot of shuddering from this car, and honestly, it needs a bit of work.
Driving down the road, whenever I hit a bump, I hear this noise. And I think it could be
there is actually a split in the top mount. Don't know if you can see. There's a split in it. And the second problem is in the back of the car, which involves the exhaust, which is actually an aftermarket, really loud and obnoxious one. I feel 17 again driving this car.
And the problem is when this car's idling, it feels like you're in an earthquake because it's rattling so bad.
It sounds like someone's playing the bongos, mate. Oh, it's so bad. It's so embarrassing sitting in traffic when your car's doing this. It's worse on the outside. Oh, the noise just gets worse and worse. Now, with aftermarket exhaust systems, pretty much, they're not usually perfect fitment. So you get a lot of rattling, you got clamps in different places than the stock exhaust. So unfortunately, it is likely that you're gonna have a few rattles here and there. So the first problem we're gonna sort out is the exhaust rattle. And this thing right here is going to fix that issue. This is actually the stock exhaust for the Mini Cooper I've just picked up off eBay. £42, pretty good deal, I think. Hopefully I don't crash because that's going straight through my head unit. So we are actually down at Ramp Garage in Slough today because a lot of you guys have been telling me to get a unit and a ramp. So for today's video, we're actually getting under the car, under a ramp, rather than working on the floor like a dog. Let's get this up in the air and get this exhaust changed over and stop this annoying rattle. I think this right here is where it's knocking, because as you can see, right there, that's where it's knocking. So that just needs to be pushed up a little bit.
And when I say this car was sent from Satan to destroy my life, I really do mean it. Because when I was doing the oil change, this leak wasn't here. But now the whole underside of the car is drenched in some sort of fluid. It's looking like it's dripping down from the power steering fluid reservoir because it's at the top of the engine. But you guys are going to have to let me know what you think that this leak is. It's typical. You fix one problem and you find another. Now, the aftermarket exhaust was really easy to drop because it's in sections. The stock exhaust is in one piece, so it had to go in through that tiny little gap. So Paul was a lifesaver right here. He took off the chassis brace, which gave us just enough room to squeeze the stock exhaust back in, ready to get everything bolted up with new gaskets, new bolts, starting from the front of the car. Then eventually getting the middle exhaust support on, and then tighten up those chassis brace bolts at the back of the car. So I actually run into a problem. The exhaust hanger was too small for the OEM back box. But yet again, Paul from Ramp Garage was there to save me again by welding on some makeshift exhaust hangers to get me home, as I was almost an hour and a half away. So if you are ever interested in working on your own car but don't want to do it on the floor, click the link in the description to Ramp Garage today, where you can actually rent one of the ramps just like I did. And if you ever do get stuck just like me, the magician Paul is there, always ready to help you. But after that, we can lower the car down. A very anticlimactic startup. Right, so stock exhaust is now on, not rattling, a lot more quiet, so we can roll it out of here. This way don't start. Oh, that's much better. So much better. And we've actually got another problem we're actually going to be fixing right now in the car. So let's hop in. When I actually full lock it right, this driver's side top mount starts like, it sounds like the rubber's like stretching. Oh, and it's like knocking a little bit as well. Listen. There. Can you hear that knocking? That's what I have to deal with. It sounds like I'm in a horror film. It sounds like somebody's creaking the staircase coming up while I'm sleeping. And there's a knock as well. That might be top mount. It sounds like Daphne from Scooby-Doo's in latex. That almost cracking and stretching of like rubber isn't normal. It shouldn't be like that. The top mount should be silent, and I'm suspecting that it will actually be both top mounts that are creaking, because this one is split right here very badly, and this one as well looks so high up compared to that one. So I don't know if it's a good or bad thing that that one's so high up. I don't know if you can see, but that's poking out of the chassis, and then this one's nicely tucked away. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. You guys let me know. But that one is poking its head out a lot. Right, so we've got the car up on axle stands, and it's time to get to work on getting these top mounts out right now. So we've got 3 bolts right there. We have got a drop link right here, if you can see, right there. And then we've got the ball joint there. So we can drop this piece down so this strut can slide out. Oh, and we've also got an 18mm bolt there. We need a 17mm wrench to stop it from spinning. And we also need a 16 socket. Pull that out. That bolt's rusty, mate. Underneath this is the ball joint we need to pull out, but I've already done that because that was a ball ache to get out. But now the strut will actually come out. So, oh, that's heavy. Strut can come out. There we go. Let's quickly get this other side out and drop them. So now both struts are off the car, and we've got the new top mount laid out for both of them. So we've got one there and one there. This one looks a bit worse for wear, mate. This one literally looks, look, you can see the cracking right there. It's rusty. It doesn't sound bad. I'm not sure if it should make that noise, but it doesn't sound awful. To be honest, I don't really know what they're about to sound like, but they don't sound too bad. But obviously when the weight of the car is on them, it's a different story. And now there's just one nut in the middle,
holding this top mount together.
Now, I'm sure we've all seen people getting licked by these springs, so that is why we use spring compressors to make sure they don't fly out, giving you a solid smack to your right chin. Once the springs are secured, I use a pair of mole grips and a cloth to hold onto the shock to stop it from spinning so we can remove the nut. If you don't use a cloth, you'll indent the metal and cause leaks. Don't ask me how I know this. So with the old top mount removed, that's looking like something I left in the toilet after an Indian, we can get the new top mount on. This was a workout getting the shock back into the hub. I used my knees as a jack till I could get the bolt smacked into place to hold it there. I know this is a bit dramatic. Look at how tough it was. You would think I'm pushing a baby up my arse, so honestly.
So we've just got the wheels back on, obviously. I'm not hovering, am I? But yeah, we're about to go on our first drive and see if there is still that stretching sound from the top mount and if we can even turn the wheel. Let's hear, is it gonna creak? Not a single creak, mate. Are you taking the piss? And then let's go back. We did it! We fixed that little creaking sound. Because look, before it was so loud, you guys heard it. But look. Oh mate, the knocking's gone, the rattling from the exhaust is gone. God, this car is so much nicer to drive now. No more rattles, no more knocking. Oh, it's beautiful! We did it! I've even put a new antenna on the car because the old one was so long. Look at that. Oh, yes! 2 top mounts. They completely stopped that creaking sound. £29, you can't argue. This car is so much nicer to drive than when I first got it. When I first got it, it wouldn't even drive. We literally got it home on the back of a recovery truck. It's insane to look where it is now. There's definitely still issues like that power steering fluid leak. We have to find out what that is, but...
Now, the next problem I've actually got with this Mini Cooper is actually with the reverse sensors on the back. Well, they're not going to be on the front of the car, are they, you muppet? Now, when I actually put this car in reverse, it should work like a normal reverse sensor and beep as I get closer and closer to a wall that I'm about to crunch my bumper with, or the kid I'm about to bumper clod. But it doesn't actually make a single sound, not even an initial beep. So we're actually going to be taking off the rear bumper to gain access to each individual PDC sensor or parking distance control sensor, as these can sometimes get clogged up with dirt and mean the reverse sensors completely stop working.
Now, if you're into cars, forms are your best friends, you know. This specific person has an R52 Mini Cooper just like mine, the convertible.
Some people were saying to check the fuses, but I already have, and they're all in check, none have blown. And the second thing people were saying was to actually check the reverse switch on the gearbox. However, my rear lights are coming up when it goes into reverse, so I wouldn't think it would be that either.
The solution from this problem for him was 2 of the sensors on the rear weren't working, so it completely shut off the reverse sensors. I've actually gone out and bought some brand new PDC sensors to go on the back, and pretty much we're going to test fit these, clip them in without the bumper, see if that turns on the reverse sensors, and then hopefully if it does, we can put this bumper back on and then we can have parking aid again. Now, is this actually going to work for us? Probably not, because it never goes easy for me. It's going to be something like a wild raccoon has eaten the wiring loom at the front of the car for the reverse sensors, so I'm not hopeful. This might seem a bit optimistic, but please, I'm praying that basically when I put it in reverse, we're going to hear that beep
and then we're going to hear the reverse sensors come on. If so, that £29 fix has just got us reverse sensors again, but if not, well, we've got a bigger issue, and I don't know what it is. Oh my God, I'm scared. I really, really hope it is, because this would be a good ending to today's video. Nope. What? No! I told you guys, I literally told you guys, it is never easy for us. Replacing all 4 sensors, not even just 1 or 2, but all 4 did not work, unfortunately. So if you guys have any more recommendations on why the reverse sensors aren't working, leave them in the comments below and I'll make sure to fix them in the last video of this Mini Cooper next video. The only thing I could think of that why it's not working anymore is potentially inside the car on some reverse sensor systems there's a dedicated speaker for sensors. So the sensors could be working but the speaker might not be working, so that might seem really dumb, but maybe that isn't the problem. But without further ado, let's get this bumper back on just like this. Now the next job on the to-do list is actually replacing this weather seal and finding out exactly what is beneath the duct tape. Even a little bit of an ecosystem growing in this piece. Best case scenario when I remove this tape is there's no cuts in it and they've only put that tape there because of this seal that's gone bad. Worst case scenario, there's a massive gash mark through the soft top, or this is someone's ex's car and they've stuck diarrhea to their soft top and I'm about to touch it. That could be worst case scenario, but oh no. Oh, that's why. Yeah, okay. Oh, that's why. So that was actually worst case scenario times 2. If we actually peel back this, you can actually see that's a Bluetooth connection between the soft top and the body of the car, basically. Now, luckily for me, there's only a little bit of a hole right at the bottom. The rest of the car doesn't actually go the whole way through. So we're going to first start off by actually removing the old weather seal by just simply scraping it off because it was as dry as your nan's bum cheeks. Now, the actual Mini seals are ridiculously expensive. So I've actually found this weather seal for £30. An amazing price for a £250 car, which I bought it for, and a car that sells for like £500 these days. £30 little cheap fix rather than spending £200. And this new weather seal, quite simply 3M tape onto the car, and not only is it a new seal, but it makes the car look a lot more presentable rather than having decayed rubber as a seal. Now, for a temporary fix for that little hole in the soft top, I'm actually using a little bit of leftover duct tape and I'm actually putting it on the inside of the soft top and actually super gluing the outside to actually seal that hole as a little temporary fix, so that water doesn't keep dripping in there. And we can finally get rid of that duct tape on the outside of the car. Now, it might not be a perfect repair, or it might not even last, but it asks the question, is this car even worth a perfect repair? So now you can't actually see through and there's no holes in it because on the underside there's actually duct tape super glued to it. So I'm just going to put layers and layers of super glue on top of that as a temporary repair. I've seen people fix toilets with super glue and noodles, so we're going to try it on a convertible. But that's actually the weather seal all completed. Now, another problem I'm actually having with the Mini Cooper is when I'm actually sat in traffic or just sat there idling, at certain times the car will just start to misfire and it will just start to run a little bit rough when I'm just sat in traffic. And a common problem for the Mini Cooper to run rough on idle is actually the coil pack. So right here we've got an electrical clip at the back and pull out. Simple as that. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts. Now, if this is actually the stock part on the car, this has been on the car for 20 years and 126,000 miles. So that might be causing our misfire issue on idle. Maybe not, maybe. Let's just fit the new part. But either way. We've also got new leads for this car because some of them look like they've been eaten by a rabbit. So quite simply getting a new coil pack in. Then slowly attaching all the leads in the correct order. We can then start the car for the first time, and that's job done. All done. Now, I hate to get all dramatic and emotional with a flipping Mini Cooper, but I think as human beings, we do this. We forget the journey we've been on. We have been through so much with this Mini Cooper. The amount of problems and hurdles we've had to overcome and jump through with the help of you guys, like doing my first ever head gasket on a car, which was pretty terrifying, to changing the clutch on this car, to the first time ever dropping a subframe on a car just to change the lower bushings. This Mini Cooper has pushed me personally to step out of my comfort zone and do the job I never thought I'd have the capability of doing. So this is a lesson for you guys. Step out of your comfort zone, start working on your cars. If your car goes wrong and you think you can't change a clutch, look at me. I'm nothing special. I'm just some guy who wants to learn about cars and enjoys fixing them, so there is no excuse for you not being able to do it. I've got 2 brain cells, man. So if you take anything from this series, please go make yourself proud, because I'm definitely proud of myself for getting this Mini Cooper back on road. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, because in the next video we're going to be saying farewell to this £250 Mini Cooper and seeing how much money and profit we can scrape out this car, if any. So alright then guys, unfortunately that is the end of today's video on the Mini Cooper. We have done so much to it in today's video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy today's video, and it's coming to the end of the series for the Mini Cooper, unfortunately. I want you guys to comment down below what car you would like to see me drag off someone's driveway or back on road in the comments below, because in the next month or so we're going to be getting rid of the BM and the Mini Cooper because they're all back on road now. So a massive thank you for all the love and support from you guys. It's much appreciated. I'm just a kid learning about cars and I love it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe if you are new, and I will see love faces in my next video.